Tourism is taking longer to recover post-pandemic than most other industries. A new report from Destination Canada says that the country's tourism sector will not fully recover until next year. And we're joined now by Kathy Motton with Destination Toronto. So, Kathy, first off, good afternoon. Thank you for taking time to speak with us. When it comes to the trickle-down effect, what does that look like?
Yeah, well, I think, what Destination Canada is reporting in terms of how the recovery is going is in line with what we're seeing here in Toronto. We're still about 10 to 15% behind pre-pandemic levels when, the visitor economy actually brought $1.1 billion in economic impact in 2019.
Okay, so, that money has to come from somewhere. Is that being made up at all?
So we're at about 10 to 15. We have about 10 to 15% to go to get back to those levels. When you look at the Destination Canada report, and they're discussing that the economic impact is there, but inflation is impacting what those numbers are looking like, and why we still have a little ways to go. That's in there's some key international markets that haven't returned. We haven't seen China come back yet. China was one of our top international markets before the pandemic hit, and they brought about 300,000 visitors a year. So we haven't seen that market come back yet. There's also some other, there's business events that still needs to fully return and has not come back yet. And that's meetings and conventions and events that happen in our city and bring visitors to our city. It's a key market for us. And, that's at about 60-ish% to where we were in 2019. So there's just a couple key places where we need to see that recovery in order to see the full recovery happen.
So what's the plan to help turn things around? Are we waiting for some big, new flashy campaign to get people back here?
Yeah, we've definitely had some great campaigns out in market, and we're always trying to help visitors see what an incredibly diverse and wonderful city Toronto is. Specifically, we had a campaign called the "You Got to See What We See" campaign, and we've had Simu Lee in that, and Director X, and some other really cool influencers and ambassadors that just talk about how much they love Toronto. So we really do that a lot. We lean in to the people that love Toronto already, and we try to help them tell our story to get people to come see what we have to offer here. Because who better to talk about Toronto than Torontonians or people who love Toronto?
What about talking to travelers as well as businesses to see why they haven't come back yet?
Yeah, I think we're actually going to be doing, we do that research, and it's a very key point. And, we're going to be doing some additional research, hopefully in the next year, so we can continue to understand and just ensure that our marketing and our strategy and trying to get these visitors to come here is very targeted. As we know, the visitor economy is really key. We really learned that through the pandemic, how key it is to have these visitors come into the city. It's job creation, it's supply chain, it's the money that gets spent here, but then it's also what happens to that money once it comes into our city. So it's really key that we see that recovery.
Yeah, along those lines, when that recovery does happen, we have the tourists here, we have the businesses coming and having conventions here. What does that look like? What does that look like in downtown Toronto and all throughout the GTA?
Oh gosh, for me it means vibrancy. When I think about having visitors here, it's that spark, that vibrancy that you feel in the city. And when those visitors are here, we feel it. They're a part of the energy. They're a part of what makes Toronto so great.
And we appreciate all of that. Kathy Motton with Destination Toronto, getting people back. Thanks a lot, Kathy.
Thanks so much.